Marcus Spears from ESPN NFL Live talking about if Deshaun Watson can lead the Browns to the playoffs.
He also has the weapons, so there is no excuse when it comes to Amari Cooper and Njoku at tight end. Elijah Moore comes over, and we know what Nick Chubb is out of the backfield. There is no excuse for Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns offensively not to be as good as anybody in their division, and that all is predicated on how well he plays. I'm going to go to the other side of the football, though, because defensively, and we keep coming back to this, and I know it's two defensive minds and guys on this show, but defensively for the Cleveland Browns is what has held them back. This team was picked as Super Bowl contenders a few years ago. We talked about how good they could be because of the acquiring of talent that they had. And this defense is the one that in critical moments let them down time after time. Y'all remember when Lamar Jackson had to go use the bathroom, come back, and beat this defense. Couldn't get off the field against Pittsburgh. Had all of these issues arise. So I think offensively they'll be fine. With Myles Garrett over there and Denzel Ward and these guys on the back end playing at their top level, this Cleveland Browns defense should be able to hold it down until this offense gets going. But make no mistake about it, Deshaun Watson is the reason why Cleveland will win if he's playing at the level in which he's shown he could play at before. It'll be about him individually raising the level of play of everybody else around him on this team. We'll see if it can be done.
And that's fair. I would caution, though, not to look too much at the number of yards passing because, and I said this earlier in the show, the team that they had in Houston fell behind, and they had Duke Johnson and David Johnson as their running backs. You're not going to run as much with those two guys as if you have a Nick Chubb.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that for the first time, really consistently, he's going to have a top 5 rushing attack behind him because he's got the best running back in football. And so, yeah, like you said, the statistics could end up going down and it actually being a much better season because progress is not always linear with these sorts of things. Like you said, down a bunch of garbage time yardage and things like that. Whereas if they're in the fourth quarter with the lead, he's not going to be throwing as much this year. They're going to be able to lean on Nick Chubb and just ride him to a win very often. But I like what he said about the defense because it has been a problem here and there the last couple of years. And just a note from training camp a couple of days ago, the offensive line, which we think is very, very good, we're getting it handed to them by this defensive line. So there's a lot of talent on both of those lines and both of those sides. And yeah, it's all on Watson, but that defense and that rushing attack is going to be there to support him and help him along the way.
Yeah, and I think the style of defense, if it does what I think it will do, this city is going to fall in love with that defense under Jim Schwartz.